I was peeping the hour. But no, I was looking online and I found some apartments. Why did you say rent?
Wait.
They're not like the best neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
They're still on the west side of Cleveland.
I
But the
invited you.
street.
This nigga.
I invited you.
All right. Yeah, the 4 hour or golden
Somebody
daylight.
who's viewing his stream, view his like stream his stream so the rest of us can watch it,
You
please.
want me to do it like this? Hold on. Hold up, hold up. How to
To like circumnavigate that is to be on a stage for Discord be capped and shit.
uh
Oh, should a Zoom link? Bet.
I don't it's not a special Zoom link, so only 100 people can be in here. But I don't think it's that many people in here.
So to stream on both just in case on Discord and on Zoom.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a setting. Oh, there it goes.
Recording in progress.
All right, there we go. All right, what was I finna say? Somebody's echoing. Is that me? No. Somebody is echoing.
Who's echoing? Who's echoing? Who's echoing? Who's echoing? Who's echoing? What the hell?
Yeah, somebody's echoing it, but it's not me. Wait. Yeah, yep. Yeah, not me.
I gotta be from Zoom.
All right, Justin. Oh, okay. That should be good. Anyways,
That should be good.
bro.
I think it's probably because you're streaming on Discord too.
No,
No.
it's never a problem. Somebody's blue.
Not
Not you? I don't know. That's so weird. All right. Anyway,
I think it's useful.
is it me? Nah, it cannot be me.
I don't hear it no more.
All right. So basically, huh? All right.
No,
So
you good.
with the 4 hour, like I was saying earlier, this level here was the last level that we sold from, and also this level here. So this was our highest point. So we have our highest point, made a low, corrected, struggled here. Buyers are trying to push up from this level, struggled here with sellers. Sellers ended up pushing price at full capacity here, all the way back down to here. So now the fact that we're above this level is already giving us signs that price is going to be bullish to the next level of sellers, which is up here. So anything that is still above this level, we should take with a grain of salt. So like this move down, we shouldn't think that this is price going on a downtrend or getting ready for a downtrend, or even like, oh, I just want to take a sell just because I think it's going to go down more. Because we have so this level that got broken, this push off, so this big bullish candle here was pushed off because of this level here. So as you can see here, this level here, price touched into 4,105 and pushed up all the way to 4,229. So there's a strong amount of buyers sitting at this level. And this is the last level of buyers before we ended up finding the level of sellers. So with me, the way that I trade, I always look at the reactions of things. Whenever price is making something new, that's just price initially telling us, hey, we ran into a brick wall. It's not a problem that we ran into this brick wall, but we need more capital, we need more funds in order to break past this. So it's essentially kind of like construction in a sense. Like, yeah, the construction plan might go pretty well in the beginning, but they might run into like, I don't know, something in the ground or a rock in the ground or a beam that doesn't fit right properly or whatever. Doesn't mean that the problem cannot be solved. It just means that they need to take another route or find more capital or more funds to fix the problem or pay for something else. So that's essentially what trading is doing is when these new highs and these new lows are being created, it's essentially finding new levels, new problems to fix as it's going up. So here we have a bunch of sellers coming into the markets here, and now they're pushing price down due to the fact that they ran into this huge problem. So this is letting us know there's a huge amount of sellers sitting at this level, which doesn't mean price is going to go on a downtrend, but it just means that sellers are there, right? So essentially what price is doing now is correcting. This correction normally happens from the initial breakout level because that's where the fund started in the first place. So that's why you'll probably hear people say, "Oh, it's a break and retest or whatever." Me personally, I just feel like it's just price coming back because sometimes it can come under the level that it was previously at. Sometimes it can stop before, so it can stop here and then go back up, or it can come all the way down to this level and come back up. So it's not essentially break or wherever the break was and then a retest of that break. Sometimes it can be more, sometimes it could be less, sometimes it can be exactly on it. But most of the times, as long as price is above the previous level that price pushed off of, so if you're looking for buys, it cannot break this level. So the level that you need to look for is what caused this movement. So essentially the indication, and this is where the indication is starting from. This first one would technically be an indication too, but let's just like look at this one since it's a bit better for the eye. Let's say this is our swing high level. We get an indication above this level. All this is showing us is price at 4,136 is going to push to 4,236. And since we have this indication, we now know anything above this level should be bullish. So as long as 4,100 or 4,101 doesn't get broken, this is still valid for the time being. So you'll see corrections in the market, possibly down to this level, possibly at this level, or even lower. What you'll do from here is since I'm on the 4 hour, and the reason I'm on the 4 hour is because it's a little bit easier to see to the eye of what's really going on. Sometimes you will have to flick through your time frames to make it make sense because the 1 hour is going to look different from the 4 hour. But if you was just only looking at the 1 hour, you would think price is bearish. But what happened up here that made price come this high? So that's why you always got to flick through your time frames to see what's going on. Because the 1 hour makes this look bearish, but when we go to the 4 hour, it's just a correction for the 4 hour. So then from here, what we'll do to find the trade, so that's the biggest part, is we understand what's going on in the market. We understand like, okay, price on the 4 hour time frame is bullish, right? We solidified that fact. So that's like a fact that we would solidify. So we were like 4 hour, somebody's mic is messing up, bro. 4 hour is bullish. That's already solidified. So the trend is bullish. Overall trend is bullish. So every time we go down to a time frame, all we're essentially doing is trying to find clues that match this thesis. So if the 4 hour is bullish, all we're doing is trying to find when is these other time frames going to be bullish. So right, so then we'll go here and we'll see, okay, I see that the 1 hour has built off of this level. It went bullish off this level. The reason why I'm saying it went bullish off this level is because we can see that there's rejections at this level and then price ends up pushing up off of it. So this is a little bit of buyers off this level, right? Something we didn't see on the 4 hour. That's why we scaled down. So now we know that this level was a low. So now we can see that price is on that correction, right? So we can see that price made that indication. Now we can see that there is a correction happening. So whenever we're buying or we're looking for buys, our correction is always going to be lower highs, lower lows. So from here, what we're going to see is where did this break or how did this break? How did this structure break? So we have a lower high here and then a new low. So our main focus will be this lower high. Because anything over a lower high, so if we go, let's go here, right? Prime example. Price is on a downtrend, so we have lower highs in the market. These are a little choppy, but just get the point, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high. Price makes a low. We have a lower high here. Price fails to make a low and then makes a higher high. This is what we want to see. So this is what you're essentially trying to see so you can get a position. You're trying to see where price is making lower highs in the market and then the trend starts to change or the structure starts to change. So what we're looking for is price to basically do something like this, something along the lines of make this lower low, try to create that lower high. It'll most likely make the lower high, fail to make the lower low. That will be a higher low, and then you'll see a break like this. So then that's when you'll be like, okay, price is building up that bullish structure again. We're back above that level on the 4-hour time frame. This is a bullish structure for the 1 hour, and everything kind of correlates together. So once again, you're just going from a higher time frame perspective. It can be the 4-hour, it can be the 1 hour, whichever one you choose. We're once again using the 4-hour because of the trend that is happening now. It's easier to see what's really going on the 4-hour time scale. So 4-hour thesis is bullish on the 4-hour. We scale down 1 hour time frame. How can or when can we see that price is aligning with our thesis the first time? When is that thesis aligning with the 4-hour? And that's pretty much what you do from there. And then you're always trading above or below reaction levels. So if we know, it's really hard to do it now because price isn't really doing anything yet. But let's say if price makes pushes up today for a London session or Asian session, and you see price push up and make a high, then your next move will to be looking if price is going to break above that high or is it going to break below that low, right? So let's just say it like that. It's going to be looking somewhat similar to this. And then from here, whichever direction, you're just basically looking for that ICC setup once again. But the only thing with this, because people complicate it, you necessarily don't have to wait for. So if you already know that the trend is bullish on the 4-hour time frame, when it comes to scaling down on a smaller time frame, you don't necessarily have to look for that same ICC where you get an indication on the smaller time frame. It's helpful if it happens. It's good to catch it if it happens. But essentially what's going on is the 4-hour is already bullish. It's a pullback. So when it is ready, it's not going to sit here and wait for another, correction or continuation. It's not going to wait for that. Price is just going to move when it moves, once everything correlates. So once the 4-hour correlates, the 1 hour, 15-minute, if all of them are all aligned, it's just going to go. It's not going to wait for, indications and stuff like that. It's just going to go when it's ready. So that's essentially what you're doing. You're waiting for price to make that higher low or lower high. It could break above here, and that could be a sign that price is going bullish because this is a level where you can see sellers or buyers went up into it. When they went up into it, a strong level of sellers came into the market. So we know sellers are here. But like that guy said early in the call that we did this morning, if you get another lower high here, this is what you're tracking. So basically what you're doing is tracking your highs and lows until it keeps going, until it breaks, to be honest. So like, let's say here, right? The gold buy that I had the other day and I posted it on Instagram. All I was doing was tracking the fact that price, that thing is buying up fucking crazy. What happened if it stops exactly where I was marking? But yeah. So basically what I did with the gold buys is 4-hour time frame for one, just because it was looking a little bit cleaner on there. If we see here, right, even though price was consolidating, I can obviously see that there are a strong level of sellers here, right? That's obvious. We can see that. We have this, and this level. We can obviously see that there's a strong level at 4,024, right? But as price kept pushing into this level, it kept coming into a level where there are sellers here. So once again, I'm gonna just annotate everything I'm doing. So sellers sitting here, pushing down, right? Sellers are here. Every time price or sellers kept pushing price down, notice like these key things are very important. Notice how price had a support level here. This was his low. It pushed up, came low again, but didn't go lower than the previous one. So this is just telling me buyers are fighting here to keep price or to continue to hold price up. There's a support here that got broken too, but price didn't do anything with that, which is why also quote unquote ICC is good too, because that second time around helps a lot of fake outs. So this you would have thought probably was a sell, but since this was only an indication, you probably would have never sold the second time around, right? Um, so with that being said, we can see that the support levels are getting higher and higher. And that's what I utilize to my advantage because this is not supposed to happen if price is selling. If price wants to sell, it'll get lower and lower, not higher and higher in lows. Same way with buys, right? If you're seeing price buying, the highs are just going to get higher and higher, whether if they're small or not. Price is going to look to go higher and higher every time, not lower and lower. Um, so yeah, that's basically what I did with gold buys and scaling into the 1 hour time frame. We can see here, right around when I took the buy, it was right here. And really that was risky itself, but price made that higher low. And I was really like, okay, let me just take the shot because if price wanted to sell, it would have definitely broken this level and then came down to this level, but it failed to do so. But the right way to do it would have been session and then this, hold on. This is, oh yeah, this is New York. Let's turn this up a little bit. The session that we had, this movement here would have been really good due to the fact of this. So 1 hour time frame, looking at the 1 hour switch trend. So we have this last level that price pushed from and then sold off down to these levels. Price ended up breaking above that level. And then everything above here was bullish momentum. Even with the fact that it came back down to that level, once it came back down to that level, ended up building higher lows and higher highs later on. So really all you're doing is taking the thesis, so taking a statement or something you've seen on a higher time frame and making sure every other time frame correlates and aligns with what you're thinking on that higher time frame. Is basically what you're doing. I know it probably sounds complex, but it's really not. You're just looking for, to be honest, reactions. Like how did price react when it was above or below this level? Like what I did was how did price react when it came to 4,024, right? Price was selling. But the moment it comes back, even here could have been a good position for yourself. Above here, it you could look at that as a breakout, but we've already seen bullish reactions or bullish pressure above this level already build up into this. So this is all money just building up. Even over here, this is all money building up for the long term. And that's what trading is, just really trying to find those trends and then like letting price build the momentum for whatever you're looking for. Like BTC now, like even though it's not crazy, crazy, it's been building momentum for the longest time and showing signs along the way. And now we're getting to this point where it's finally giving us what we want, but it took like a few days, a couple weeks, right? But now we're getting to that point because I've been screaming BTC sell since fucking October or something. Yeah, right around October because this was that Trump sell. And now we're all the way from what we was at 120. Now it's all the way at 98K. So don't think of it day to day. Think of it more of like where is the market heading? Like, where is the market heading long term off the higher time frame? The 4 hour has really been, I would say this year, the 4 hour has been very useful. I am a big trader on the 1 hour time frame, but the 4 hour time frame has definitely been very helpful. But in order to trade the higher time frame, you really have to separate yourself from thinking small and thinking more of a larger scale, more of like, okay, I'm looking to even though my capital might be small, because I do run into people that be like, oh, like I feel like I don't have enough capital to swing trade or I don't have enough capital to trade higher time frames, but that's not like it's not true. Math is math at the end of the day. If you have $1,000 account, either way it goes, if you risk $100, $200, make sure your stop loss is according to that. So if you got to put a stop loss here, right? So let's say I'm just doing an example. Let's say you have to put a stop loss here. Your entry is, let's say, the break of here, right? If here to here, if you want to see, that's the problem. If you want to put like, and this is for an example, let's say you want to put a one lot, but a one lot from here to here is going to be like a $300 risk and you only want to risk $100. Common sense says to lower your lot size, but people want to make lot of money in one trade. So it's like it's a conflict of interest. You want to make a lot of money, but you don't want to risk a lot of money. How the fuck does that work? So one, like have proper risk management. And you can always trade anything. You can be a scalper, you can be a day trader, you can be an intraday trader, you can be a swing trader, you can be a seasonal trader. It doesn't matter. Like, don't let, oh, I have this much capital. Don't let that define what type of person you or what type of trader you want to be. That's why I hate prop firms because I feel like prop firms determine what type of trader you need to be. Like, you can be whatever you want to be. This is a game of like whatever it's you versus you. So whatever you want to be. If you want to be a
garage and watching the rain fall and it's not even touching you.
God damn, that's loud as fuck.
Yeah, that's PTSD. It's just that image, bro. That's the last thing I saw when I died.
Bro,
I was sitting in the garage watching the rain fall, my nigga.
It's in the Zoom.
That's exactly like
bro. Yeah, don't let your capital determine what type of trader you want to be. You just got to work around it. I get a lot of questions a lot about like, oh, what do I do if I work a job or what do I do? Like, bro, if you really want to do some shit, you're really gonna do it. Like, there's no other way around it. If you really want to be where you want to be or you want to chase your goals, you're gonna do it by any means. Always think of trading too as well as like more of a like, how do I put it? Not like a holy grail, but definitely put your mindset in a mindset of like, if I don't make it work out, like I'll be like, I don't know the severity of what people's mindset are, but when I was trying to become a trader, it was more of like this is like a really a get rich or die type of thing for me. It was like really help my moms or like just be stuck at the bottom of the barrel, to be honest. That's just how I think. Like, I don't know what the severity of everybody else's mindset, but when you really want something so bad, you would go to the ends of earth for it. Like, even think about, I like talking about psychology a lot. I'm gonna go on a rant for a little bit, but even think about like, uh, let's say drug addicts, for example. Like, it's an addiction they have. But no matter what, they're trying to fulfill that addiction, no matter what, by any means, they're going to try to fulfill that addiction. So with trading, if you have an addiction towards trading, or if you have an addiction towards the love of the game, you're going to want to become the best you can become for yourself because that's something that's fulfilling your dopamine or fulfilling your confidence or fulfilling your just overall your goal, to be honest. So it's really just doing whatever you have to do to get to wherever you want to be. And you just don't really give a fuck about the obstacles that get in your way. You kind of push through it and just do what you have to do. So never make an excuse like, oh, I don't have enough capital for this, or like if you don't have enough capital, go make some shit shake, bro. It's 2025, bro. There's so many different ways that you can make money that it's like you run it up. You might have to do that shit for a couple of weeks, couple of months, but shit, if you know, like put it in this perspective, if you know, I gotta work this shitty ass job for the next 5 months to save up what I need to save up to trade. If you know in 5 months you're gonna have the capital to do what you really want to do, why not just suck it up and just do the 5 months? Like, why not just suck it up and just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do the 5 months. But I know after 5 months, my life is gonna be great, or my life is gonna be in a better position. Or if it's gonna take a year, that's okay. If you know, I I got a year to make this work, or I got a year to do what I have to do to put myself in the best position. But after that year is over, I know I could be potentially in a better spot, bro. Then just suck that year up. Just smile through the pain, bro. Some people, for me, for an example, oops, excuse me. I didn't know where I was going to be in the next 2 years, a year, 6 months, whatever the case might be. I was just kind of just doing it for the love of it, the skill. Like I just wanted to be better. And now looking 5 years, 4 years into trading, going on five, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's just like that. That's how life works. Whenever you go in with no expectations, and I made this, I talked about this the other day. When you have no expectations, like you just do what you have to do, and you're just like, You don't even pray for the outcome. You just kind of just like, all right, I know I got to do this. I got to follow my rules. I got to follow my risk management. I don't know why I'm doing it. You can even say that. Like, I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but this way works. So let me just keep doing it. And shit, maybe you get to your goal sooner than you think. You just never know, bro. Life is so random. So you just got to kind of be like an adaptive person, always adapt to new environments and have no expectations. I think I was talking to, is he still in here? I was talking to Romel about that, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, he is in here. I was talking to Romel about how the best bro saying my mindset right now. Yeah, your biggest skill that you can learn as a human being is adaptation. Because if you can be thrown into a fire of anything, right? If you can be thrown into a fire, and always adapt to whatever it is, you will come out on top of anything and everything. Like no matter where somebody places me on this map, on this face of the earth, I feel like I can always adapt to the environment pretty fast. Because one, I have no expectations on the world. Like I don't set my standards for the world. I kind of let the world show me what it is, and I decide if I like it or not, right? You always have a choice. Never put yourself in a way like, oh, I'm only looking for this or I'm only looking for that. Because then you go in expectations, and then if your expectations are not met, then you're upset, you're angry, you're or you're unhappy, you're disappointed. And all in all, you just don't even want to do it. So the same way with trading, I'm gonna keep reflecting this back into trading. Um, when it comes to trading, if you go in with the expectations of, oh, trading's going to make me so rich, or trading is going to be my job, or if you go in with trading, this trade is going to go out in my favor, or this trade should go in this direction. If you go in with expectations and your expectations are not met, so if you go in and you're like, trading is going to make me rich, and then for 6 months you lose $10,000 in the course of 6 months, it's obviously not making you rich. And then your expectation of it is like, damn, I thought trading was going to make me rich, but it's only made me $10,000 into the hole, maybe more, maybe less, right? So then your brain psychologically starts to think like, damn, I came in thinking this and it's just not going how I planned. And some people, they give up. Some people stop doing it in general. Or they think of themselves as a smaller time scale because then you have social media. Everything plays into like everything that you think of. So then you start overthinking, you start over trading, and you're like, damn, I'm just a bad trader. And then you go online, people are winning, everybody looks like they're fucking happy. And half these traders don't even, that's another story. But yeah, you start thinking of yourself in a bad outlook, and then you just don't want to do trading anymore. And that's not good for yourself at all. So back to what I was saying, being able to go in with no expectations and being able to adapt to anything and everything will be the best thing you can do for yourself. And how you can practice this is really just throwing yourself into fire, throwing yourself into situations that causes you to have some critical thinking skills, that causes you to think. You need to be able to think. Adaptability is coming from like how you think about things. Thrown into a fire, thrown into the pit, and you're like, hey, you got two sticks, a rock. What are you like? How are you finna get out of a cave or whatever the case might be? You get thrown into a cave, they give you a blank piece of paper, a stick, and a rock. And they're like, yeah, you got to get out with this. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but adapt to it, right? You get thrown into a market where, like these past couple of months, Trump has been saying and manipulating the markets for the past couple of months, but you maneuver around it, right? There's certain things that I shouldn't trade, certain things I should stay away from, but you adapt to those things because we're traders, right? Trading is about adapting, coming in with once again, no expectations of what you expect out of the markets because you cannot expect the markets to do whatever you want it to do. You kind of got to go, damn, I did this call a little too early, but it's cool. It's whatever. Uh, I didn't expect myself to go on a rant. It's cool, it's whatever. But yeah, I'll switch the stage then. I'll switch the stage so everybody can kind of join because I don't want to I'm gonna just say it one time. I'm gonna keep recording, but uh yeah, I was expecting to have this call because I wanted to talk about the huh? Yeah. That's kind of annoying. Um yeah, hold on. Right, can I scroll it down? Um Yo, the numbers are like moving like seconds. But yeah, just to kind of clarify everything I was saying, well, I'll give it a couple minutes. I'll give it like one more minute. Yo, what's good, guys? The volume's low. My volume's low. My battery's almost dead. My turn it up, bro. My shit is at max, bro. King, my shit is at max. Um, yeah. For the people that missed out on the 15-minute rant that I just went on, basically. I was stating the fact, well, for one, we was going over the charts because BTC is now under 100K, something I've been looking for the past, what, 2 months almost. But yeah, just talking about the mindset of like what actual trading is. Oops. Share my screen. Um, yeah, the mindset of an actual trader, because a lot of people think that they can't do things due to the fact that they don't have capital. Um, that's a big thing, to be honest, really. People think that they can't be what they want to be when it comes to capital, which is why I was talking about how I think prop firms prey on that, to be honest. A lot of people feel like they need a prop firm because they feel like, oh, when I have this much capital, I can be whatever type of trader I want to be. But even a prop firm limits you down to what type of trader you can be. You can't be as versatile or as leeway as you want to be, which causes you to, spiral because you start losing accounts because you're not trading how they want you to trade. But besides the point, um, basically what I was explaining was the mindset that you need to have is more of like an adaptability mindset. You need to be able to adapt to anything and everything. Um, having expectations is not the best thing. A lot of people come in with expectations, even if you think you don't. I'm pretty sure you do. Everybody wants some type of outcome out of trading, which is normal, right? We all want to make money. We all want to get good at trading because we want to make money. So it all comes down back to money, of course. Um, and that's something that's going to, you really have to understand. You get into the game because you want to make money. That's like write that at the top of your board. I want to make money in trading, right? Obviously, duh. That's why you're doing it. So why do people, if that's obviously something that's going to come out of trading, of course, if it's like guaranteed in a sense of like, if you get your trades right, you're going to make money regardless, right? So remove that part out of it and take away like, I want to make money from trading. And then all you have left is really like, I need to know how to trade or I need to learn how to trade. Because if I learn how to trade, I can make money. So basically, what I'm trying to say is your mindset needs to get away from the expectations that you have in trading. A lot of people come into trading with a lot of expectations. They're always looking for something in return out of trading. Wait, what is this? Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Can you still hear me? Good.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, perfect. So yeah, everybody comes into trading with expectations, and it's always a downfall of everything because think about even life. Like if something doesn't meet your expectations, you're always normally disappointed or you're upset or you get angry because it doesn't meet your expectations. Um, so come into trading with no expectations, come into trading like, hey, I'm willing to step in this field that I probably have nothing, no knowledge about. I'm willing to step into this field. It's pretty risky. I have to put my hard working money towards it. So let me come in and try to learn how to actually do it first before I start thinking of these crazy expectations for myself. You're not LeBron James or you're not LeBron James at trading. So you can't come into the game thinking that you're just going to be the best of the best or you're going to be the dude that turns your $1,000 account to 20,000 in the first couple of weeks. Once again, there are outliers in this world where somebody could possibly do that. But the key thing is you have to be consistent. Come to this game with the mindset of how do I learn this skill so I can become consistent? Because what this does is it allows you to separate yourself from the expectations of, oh, I need to make money. Because that's what you're expecting. You're expecting to make money out of the game. That's your first expectation, regardless of what anybody says. Everybody jumps into trading because they want to make money. I jumped into trading because I wanted to make money and help my moms out. But I soon started to find out that that expectation led me to a lot of greed. It led me to a lot of fear of losing my hard working money. It led me into just picking up anything and everything that I thought would work. Seeing a lot of content online and just seeing like, oh, this is the fastest way to make money, or this is the fastest way to make money. This is the best way to do it. This and that, this and that. You kind of are chasing that expectation of trading is going to make me money. And then you fall down this rabbit hole of courses, signal groups, uh, stalking other traders on internets and trying to figure out what they're doing and this and that. It's just a rabbit hole. But when you remove that and you're willing to come into the game and do your own hard work, do your own labor, do your own self-reflection, because self-reflection clears up a lot, right? If you, and I'm gonna go into self-reflection right quick, you're battling yourself, and this might be cliche, but you're essentially battling yourself when you're trading because the emotional tie that you have towards the dollars in your pocket, the dollars on your phone, the dollar signs that you have on your phone, people are always going to tell you, like, yeah, money doesn't affect, like, even now, like, I don't think that way anymore. But in the beginning, I was like, yeah, like, it's okay if I lose this much or whatever. And sometimes some people are scared, right? Some people don't want to trade because they don't want to lose money. But people are going to be like, yeah, I feel like I don't care about money. I'm good with trading or whatever. But the moment that you press buy or sell on your screen, is the most scariest part out of anything, especially as a beginner trader, because you're like, you're thinking in your head, like, damn, like, bro, if this goes bad, I lose money. But if this goes really good, I make a lot of money. And then you start thinking, like, damn, if I make a lot of money, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. Once again, reflection back onto that, it's just a reflection back onto having that expectation. But if you come in the game and you're like, okay, I understand that it's a me versus me thing. What problems do I deal with now? What is my current situation that makes what put me on this path to trading? How did I figure out about this and why do I want to do it? I think that's your first step as a person, right? Your first step is to understand like, hey, uh yes, hold on one sec. Your first step is to understand why am I in this game of trading? Why am I here, right? And then when you answer that question, you dig deeper into it. I'm a firm believer on psychology. Like, I believe psychology is the reason why the world is the way the world is now, because the way that the things that you do, the things that you experience, your decisions, your reactions, all tie back into the mindset that you have, the psychology you have. Um, and yeah, so when it comes to this, you ask yourself, why am I in this game? Some people are going to be like, oh, I want to help my mom, or oh, I want financial freedom for my kids or my wife or my husband, whatever the case might be. Some people are going to be like, oh, I just want to live free and travel or this and that, right? So then you take that and then you'll be like, okay, I want financial freedom. Then you ask yourself, well, what is actual financial freedom? Then you ask yourself, you basically interrogate your own self, and you're doing this to yourself, right? You can do this out loud. I would recommend doing it by yourself, right? So then you ask yourself, what do I think financial freedom is? And then you start going into a deeper dive into what you actually believe in, because then once you fully understand what you're chasing, it's easier to delegate yourself on what path you need to take. So now, instead of coming in with expectations, you kind of have how do I say it? Not an expectation. You have more of a oversight, overview of what your path should look like. So not an expectation, but an overpath of what it could possibly look like, or what you're possibly chasing. What is that end goal that you're chasing, right? So now you have an understanding of what it is that your brain will be tied upon. Because when you place that trade, when you place that buy, when you place that sell, what's going to be in your back of the head is what you said that you're chasing. So if you said you're chasing financial freedom, every time you place a trade, that is what you're going to be chasing every single time. So to mitigate it from greed and envy possibly, or making bad decisions, fighting your character, right? Fighting yourself, whatever you said that you're chasing, turning into something positive, turning into an actual uh something that makes you become better every single day. So if you want financial freedom, turn it into, oh, financial freedom means that I have to stay healthy and do this or do that, right? Switch it from a money aspect and switch it to something else. Oh, financial freedom means I just get to go outside and run a little bit more, do this or do an activity, right? It doesn't have to be something crazy, but just turn it into something different, right? Get it away from money. Because the moment you start thinking about money, something you have to use in the market to risk, all your goals start to blend in together because you have to use money to make money. And if your goal is to make money, it just all ties in together. I wish there was a simpler way for me to explain it. Um, but yeah, so that's one. Self-reflection, having no expectations, and then becoming an adaptable person to anything and everything. Um, those are what I think is the biggest things that helped me get to where I wanted to be. Not even want to be honest. It was like once you start, once you find what works for you or what's best for you, you kind of just keep doing it. Um, so that's also another thing. Like once you find something that works for you, just keep doing whatever is working. Don't consistently change something up. If it's not broken, don't do anything, right? Let me put my computer on charge right quick. Um, oh shit. All right, we're good. Yeah, so I would definitely say adaptability, self-reflection, no expectations has got me this far. And just a little bit on like the trading journey itself, right? Trading is, I will fight to the end of this day to say that trading is fairly easy. Now, what makes it less easy for people to gravitate towards or kind of get into is more of when it comes down to risk and what they're seeing on the charts. Because sometimes you get into the game, because I've seen some people that have never traded before, and I've seen it, never traded before, never looked at a chart. But when they start watching, like, let's say ICC videos, right? If that's the first thing that their mind intakes, it's easy for them. It's typically easier for somebody to get it when they know nothing. But let's talk about the people that have been trading for 3+ years, 4+ years, in and out of anybody and everybody that's probably shown you a chart. You've seen so many different things already. It's the same way with the how the world is, right? The moment you're born, you're exposed to a lot of different things, especially depending on your parents, of course. But you're exposed to a lot. You see a lot, right? And when you see a lot, you kind of don't know which real direction to kind of go because you've seen pretty much everything, especially if you have like a bad or a bad childhood or even a good childhood. You see a lot. And as you grow up, that becomes the psychology you have, or that becomes the mindset you have. So essentially, same way with trading, the moment you step in, you're a newborn. So first day, you're pretty much a newborn trying to figure out how to walk. You're trying to figure out what these terminologies are. You're trying to figure out what an uptrend is, what a downtrend is, what support and resistance is. You're trying to figure out what a high is, a low is. You're a baby. But if you are taught, let's say, the trading industry doesn't understand the newborn phase. And I think that's kind of where I come into play, and I feel like I've helped a lot, is because the industry doesn't provide you with a newborn phase. They provide you with more of a high schooler phase, right? So then when you're trying to learn all this stuff and you start off on a high schooler phase, but you don't know any of the basic ABCs or one, two, threes, it's not going to be good for anybody, right? Because now you know all this complex shit, but you don't know the actual fundamentals or the actual simple terminologies, the simple structures and the base of everything. So then it becomes so hard to actually learn. So what I'm basically getting ahead of or getting to the point of is when it comes to trading, you have to start small first. You have to start learning the basic stuff first. And if you've already been trading for a long time, it's going to be hard for your brain to kind of like go back towards from 12th grade level all the way back to kindergarten level. It's going to be hard, but practice it. Take your time to actually learn the simple stuff first, and then if you want, you can apply. But the reason why I'm saying this is because the simple stuff is essentially what gets you through everything that you're going to do in the future, right? If you think about it, your ABCs, the way you pronounce words, you did all that when you was in a smaller level, right? And then in high school or middle school, they expected you to know it already, right? So it's pretty much the same thing with trading. In the beginning, you're supposed to do all the basic stuff and learn all the basic stuff and make it make sense because later on, that's when you're actually going to need to put it together to actually pass tests and do this and that. But trading terms, this is where you're going to make profits and be able to scale your trades and start to, build your account. So once again, focus on the simple stuff first. Why are they speaking Dutch in here? I'm dead. Uh, yeah, so learn the simple stuff first. And once you learn the simple stuff, it's easier for your brain to digest for one, but it's also a reason why you then give your brain some clarity. Because if your brain doesn't have to worry about too much complex stuff, it has more time to think of what is possible out of everything it has. If it has basic knowledge, okay, out of this basic knowledge, I know that I have the foundation. What can I build from this? But most people, once again, start off at that 12th grade level and they feel like, oh, this is advanced, this is super advanced. I don't feel like I need anything, or I don't feel like there's much more to chase. So then Bro, I can't believe they're speaking Dutch in here. Thanks for the. So then, once you know all this complex stuff, it's more of like, okay, well, I don't know what to change. I don't know what to do. I don't think I need anything. Should I do anything? You're kind of in a mix of like when you have this complex way of trading or this complex way of thinking, you're more of like thinking like, dang, like, is there anything I'm missing? Am I not missing anything? So you really don't know what is going on. You don't know what to fix, is what I'm trying to get at. But when you have like something simple, so a simple strategy, a simple way of thinking, a simple way of perceiving things, it's more easy to grow from that and really like he said copy and paste. It's really easy to grow from that and understand where you need to head to next is what I'm trying to say. All in all, let me show you guys something right quick too. Uh, see if everybody can see my screen. Um, what was I explaining? I wanted to break down this chart again, so you can kind of understand where the simplicity comes into play, right? So basically, where's my phone? What's up? Yes.
Hi,
Yes, what's good?
we are going to the moments here on the 20th at the Atlantis Children's Day Shelter.
Okay. Anything else?
So, no, let me just give you a brief on it.
I'm in a call. I just seen that you called 5 times, so I was just like, hey, got it.
Okay. To give the details too,
All right.
but I just wanted to go over it more.
All right. We'll just do that whenever you get here.
Okay, right, bye.
And you said it was children?
Yeah, it's children and their parents.
All right, so we're
Or,
helping
like, homeless moms.
homeless moms. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. All right, so sorry. So basically, what I like to do when it comes to trading is think of everything as like buyers and sellers, of course, as we've seen on the videos or whatever. But the biggest thing for me is definitely reactions itself. So the way that I trade is based off reactions of how price is already played in that area or like what has it done in that area. So right now, for example, some people would perceive gold as being bearish, but why are they thinking that? Well, today on Thursday, gold has sold off from where it was at. So most people would see this as, oh, gold is going to go on a downtrend or whatever, right? But essentially, I'm not saying they're wrong, but it's the probability of price selling off is a little bit less likely due to the fact of what the 4 hour is. So I tell people all the time when it comes to trading, whenever I say, oh, I trade on the higher time frames, look at the 1 hour, look at the 4 hour, that doesn't mean only stick to either one of those. Always put yourself in a or always flick through your time frames and see what the bigger picture is. So you can start off with the 4 hour. Daily is not crazy recommended, but 4 hour is a good medium instead of the daily. But from the 4 hour time frame, you need to determine what the thesis of everything that is going on. What are you seeing on the charts? So for one, what I was explaining earlier is the fact that let's say we had our highest point. So you can see gold here buying up to this highest point. So we have this highest point here. And then from here, we had sellers kick into the market. So we have a selling pressure coming in here. And when I say sellers kick into the market, it's essentially just all I'm doing is looking at what the candles are doing when they reach a certain point. Red candles is common sense. Red candles, that means those are sellers. Green candles, or I can even change it to a different color so it doesn't look like if you need, right? We'll just go blue. Right? Essentially, red candles are sellers, blue candles are buyers. So if I see that at a certain point, price gets to a certain point, And it was blue candles, blue candles, blue candles. And once again, don't overthink it. It doesn't matter how many blue candles, it doesn't matter how many red candles, right? We're just looking at when price gets to a certain level. We see that price at 4,377. Once it reached here, we gained like a large amount of selling pressure. So we gained a lot of sellers in the market. So this tells me when price is buying into this point, it's going to touch a level where there's sellers waiting to push price down. So that's basically what I mean when sellers kick into the market. Same way with buyers. We're going to see and there's going to be some red candles because that's just how price fluctuate, but there's more blue candles, right? But essentially, price when it gets here has a large amount of buyers push back into the market to push price up. So that's basically what that means, right? So essentially what you're doing when you're trading is you're looking for these levels, but whenever price breaks a double time, so it does it again, or it comes back above a level where you know um, sellers or buyers are going to be in control, this is how you're going to play it, right? So all in all, we had sellers come into the market, push price down. So a large amount of sellers push the market down. They come into this level. Buyers and sellers start to fight in this area, sitting at this level, and then buyers finally push up price. They try to push up price, but price only pushes up this far, right? There's a bunch of rejections at this level. So that means that sellers are sitting here trying to fight price, also along with buyers. Whenever you see a lot of consolidation, it doesn't mean the market isn't just moving. It just means that we're coming to a level where buyers and sellers are at equal levels of buying or equal levels of order pressure or order volume, however you want to call it. It's an equal level of orders. So whenever you start to see price push in one direction, this means that sellers have the most orders. So they're winning. It's kind of like tug of war, for example. So essentially what we're doing is waiting for some type of reaction, some type of indication to show us which direction it's going to go. And normally this indication doesn't have to be necessarily a breakout. It could be anything from along the lines of characteristics of a higher high, a higher low, a lower high, a lower low. These things give you clues to which direction price is going to push. I really hate these blue candles. But yeah, so we had a push down from this level, right? Push down from this level, sellers kick into the market. They stop here. Buyers then proceed to push price up, trying to push price up. So you can see that once again, I feel like I just have to like explain it as clear as day for you guys. You can see here when price touched this level, sell, 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 touch this level, and then there's a large amount of buyers that kick into the market. And you can visually see the market push into another direction. And we're on the 4-hour time frame, by the way, too, as well. So we can see the market is reacting to this level and moving away from it. So now, since it's moving away from it, this is letting me know that there is buyers that were waiting for sellers to push into this market so they can use that to push it up. So with that being said, this level is also a level where price came into it, sellers kicked into the market. So this is essentially letting us know that there are sellers sitting here and there's buyers sitting here. Now, this is how you should process your trading or process any way that you're looking at the charts, right? So if we know sellers are here, we know buyers are here. When price sold down again, it didn't break the low, right? Because this is a new low, technically. This is our lower high. Price failed to make a low again. So if you're looking at a downtrend is supposed to stay consistent. That's why it's a trend. It's consistent. Same way with social media. A trend is consistently seen on social media because it's a trend. You will consistently see it over and over and over. There's no such thing as a trend where you only see one video and there's no other videos of it. That's not a trend. That's just one viral video. But if it's a trendy video, if it's something like a challenge or a dance or something, you will consistently see it over and over and over because it's a trend. So when it comes to uh, the trends in the market, you will consistently see higher highs and higher lows or lower highs and lower lows in the trend. So when price makes a lower high, you should already expect another lower low, right? And once again, I know I was talking about expectations, but with the market is a little bit different when it comes to the trends. You should already know that price is going to provide you with that lower low. if price makes a lower high in the trends. That's just the fundamentals behind it. Fundamentals behind it. And with this mindset, you eliminate two things. For one, you're not scared of the higher time frame. And two, you have more trust in the higher time frame. So if you are in a position or if you're in a downtrend and price just made a lower high, you can place a sell because price just made a lower high, but you can have more confidence that since price made a lower high, there's a low in the market, you have more confidence that the price is going to make another lower low because that's the trend, right? So let's go back to what we was talking about. Here's our high, price makes a higher low. Higher lows are only seen inside of an uptrend. If you see a higher low inside of something that could possibly be a downtrend, like we see now, this is a red flag to you if you're a seller because price should be constantly trying to build a lower low, not higher lows. The moment you start seeing higher lows or higher highs, that's when you start to be alarmed on your trade. So if you're as a seller, you would then start to be alarmed because price is no longer going down. If price is actually selling, it would continue to go down. But this is essentially meaning buyers are pushing up. So once they was here, but now buyers are pushing here. And also as well, when it comes to trading price action, you have to consistently track these. So if this was your lower low, this was that lower high, and now we have this as our new low, you have to track this. So now you can kind of forget about this, right? So now you can kind of forget about this, and now you're focused on this. Anything under here is considered bearish. So then we have price push up into here, sellers sitting here, but then we have another push down, right? So also as here too as well, we can see that consolidation, this support break, we can say this was like a support break here. What this also helps us out with is that we don't get faked out because this, even if this was price trying to say, hey, a downtrend might start, eh, no, because we are once again still above that previous level that price pushed off of. Price gave us this new level, ended up breaking it, but this will be considered an indication. Anything under here would have been potentially selling pressure, of course. And we've moved back above that level. Price ended up making this high and then pushing back down, retesting this level, and then proceeding to go forth, right? Which is still good because even if we go to the 1 hour, so if we can go here, when we scale down to the actual time frame, what we see on the 4 hour is not what we see on the 1 hour. And that's what I'm gonna talk about later too, when it comes to up here. So that 4 hour time frame looked like price could have been bearish. But if we see here, once price came down, that low, price built up, we have a high here. So we have this high, price shows reactions here. So this is our support level. Price is pushing off that level. And then we also have the fact that price made a new high. So new high here, higher support level here. And you can see that the characteristics are still pushing higher. So the 4 hour may have looked bearish, but once you start putting all your time frames together, which I'm gonna talk about in a bit, then you start to see that, okay, maybe it wasn't what I thought on the 4 hour because I only went off the 4 hour. Some people only stick to one time frame and never look at anything else, right? So back to what I was saying, 4 hour time frame ended up making this low, and this low is higher than the previous one. So then we can delete this, and now we're focused on this. So now we have this, and we have this up here. And from this, we just continue to track our lows or track our highs. And we can keep breaking these down from the 1 hour time frame and going higher. But essentially what you're doing is looking at the reactions that price is giving you and going based off that. So that low that we seen that was created, if y'all follow me on Only Payouts Instagram, you've seen that I took a buy on gold, right around actually where my arrow is at. This is just intuition, or not even intuition. The reason why I entered buys here is because, or right here, but the reason why I entered buys here is because here and here has already shown me that price no longer wants to go down. If I see that here, price is bought up from this level and there's buyers at this low pushing price up, and I also seen here, it did the same thing again. Most likely, this is just a pullback for price to push up later on, higher on. But the correct way to do it would have been just like above this level, because this is the last level that pushed off. Sellers kicked in the market, pushed price down, and then we broke above that level, which provided us with a new high indication. And then we had corrections in the market here before price came back above that level again. So that would have been the correct way to do it. But since I've seen things like this 100,000 times, even with the Solana trade, right? I'm gonna go and break this one. Right, 4 hour. This one over here. Solana didn't have to break the support before I knew that it was going to be bearish. It just provided me with more lower highs in the market. So we have a lower high here, a lower high here, a lower high here. Same thing, lower high, break of support. And this break of support caused me, this was actually where the trade was at. This break of support was causing me to sell price. So I sold price the first time. And you don't have to wait for that break under here if you don't want to. If you get provided with multiple lower highs, price already has lows in the market, you can essentially provide yourself with a position before then. It's safe to do it when it's under a level because then you know that momentum is there. But necessarily, you don't have to wait for price to make that indication for you or price to go back under that level for you if you have that price action. But um, yeah, the lower high that was provided on Solana, something you can trade off of. The fact that price pushed up in here, made a lower high, we have a low. So essentially, we're looking for that next lower low. Now, most people will be like, well, they'll always say like, but what if it goes up higher or what if it didn't keep going down? Trusting the higher time frame is always going to be played way better in your favor, and it's okay to lose a trade. Like some people feel like they don't want to lose. Like it's okay if you lost a trade, but the signs that was given to you, so lower low, lower high was created, price ended up breaking down, even selling at these points, price is breaking the lower time or 1 hour time frame levels of support is breaking those. You put everything together, and if you feel like, hey, I've got enough information to take this trade, then you take that trade. Don't let anything hold you back from taking the trade that you've put together pieces. You see the evidence, you see the clues in front of you, take the trade. But yeah, all in all, it goes back to how I trade is just basically looking at the reactions of things, seeing how price is reacting to the certain areas, certain levels on the higher time frame, and just making a thesis out of all of it. If I think the 4 hour is bullish, so to go back to the whole topic, the 4 hour is bullish. Since I think this, what should I be looking for now? What should I look for next? So 4 hours bullish. That's my thesis. That's at the top of my board. So if you was to game plan every trade, what is your first thought? Okay, 4 hours bullish. How do I go from here? Okay, I see that the 4 hour is bullish only above this level. So only above this level. Okay, why do I think that? Okay, it's only bullish above this level because sellers were once here, right? So I know if price is under this level, it has more potential to sell off than buy, right? And then how can we also play that in our favor, right? We start to look, what created this bullish? How did this become bullish off of this trade? Why is my brightness going down? How did this become bullish? Why do I think this is bullish? Oh, because at this level, it created a higher low, which then pushed the market to create a higher high. So when now you think that, okay, there's a higher high in the market, I visually see that there's two red candles here. I see that price is going down. This could possibly be a correction. So now I'm thinking that this is a correction due to the fact that it is above this level. So since it's above here, the next level of sellers would be here. So I don't think that this is going to be our downtrend, or I don't think that this is just going to start selling all the way off. You shouldn't be thinking that way because a lot of people think that once like today would be the next trade for the rest of their lives. They think it's just going to go down for the rest of the day or the rest of the week or whatever the case might be. But there's no signs of that on the higher time frame. So when it comes to this, we start thinking, okay, we have a new high in the market. I see that the last level that was a low, so the last higher low, which once again, a higher low is going to invalidate a buy trade. I'm gonna write this down. Higher low. Oops. Invalidates a buy trade and then a lower high or should I say break invalidates a buy trade, a lower high break. I didn't even spell invalidates, but it's cool. A sell trade. Right? So if we keep this mindset in with any time frame that we trade, mostly you want to do it on a higher time frame. If we keep this mindset, it makes trading a lot more easier because then you know you won't get lost. So if this is our higher low, right? If this is our higher low, now we have a higher high. We essentially know that this is now going to make our next higher low, right? So if as long as price doesn't break above here, the only thing we should be looking for is buys. Now, when we say this, what we're going to do is go from the 4-hour time frame to now the 1-hour time frame. But we're not going to forget the overall what's going on. Remember, that is our higher low level. The 4-hour is bullish. We already have these notes out. So now all we're essentially doing is something I do. All I'm doing is going from that 4-hour time frame. I see the play. So I already see the indication. Price is correcting. All I'm doing is going to the 1-hour, maybe the 30, right? 1-hour. All I'm doing now is looking at what's going here, right? So what I'm going to do is, okay, that was our high. I can see that price pushed off this level once. So this is obviously a level on the 1-hour time frame of where buyers were at to push price. Now we're under that level. So now we have a low, right? So essentially what price is going to do is it's going to try to make some structure, probably. It's going to make a lower high, probably sell a little bit more. And remember, this is on the 4-hour time frame. This is that 4-hour level. So as long as price is still above this level, we're still bullish for the 4-hour time frame. So long term. So what it's going to do is it's going to try to create a lower high. But then what we're looking for is a failure of going lower. Right now, it's hard to really explain it until you see it, but we're going to see a failure of price trying to go lower, and then it's going to make a high instead. So you're going to see price push down a little bit low, fail to go lower, so have rejections, and then start to build up. And when it builds up, it could do one of the two things to become bullish. It can break above here to become bullish, or it can create something before that to become bullish. So you'll see price make that lower high here. So you'll see something along the lines of a lower high here where this candle comes here, lower high, fails to go lower, and then we have a break here, which means price is now bullish because any lower high break invalidates a sell trade. I think that should help when it comes to corrections. So when price is correcting, it's going to be, so if you're looking for buys, your correction should be a downtrend. The moment it breaks a lower high on that downtrend, 1-hour time frame, it could be 15-minute time frame. Preferably if you're using the 4-hour, when you go down to the 1-hour, that's what you should be looking for. But once it breaks that, that's essentially where you know price is going back bullish. Now you can play this two ways. You can enter based off the fact that the 1-hour is back bullish, the 4-hour is bullish, and we're above that level on the 4-hour time frame. And using that volume to come into play, it definitely might make that push with the volume. Or you can wait for another ICC or indication, another higher low to be created. You can go on the 15-minute time frame, scale down, and then use that, utilize that. Or you could just take the trade based off the 4-hour, making a higher high, pulling back, and then trading it that way, or even a break above this level. Because now we know the 4-hour is done with that correction that it was on and is looking to go back up. So all I'm doing essentially is finding the thesis of what's going on, 4-hour time frame, what is going on. Is price bullish, bearish? Answer that question. Keep it simple for yourself. What is the higher time frame doing? Is it going up or is it going down? Is it doing anything at all? Essentially what you're going to do, pick your highest point, pick your lowest point. How did price get this high? Did it break above anything else? So we've seen that it broke above here. So this makes this trend bullish, right? Price is still above that level. I do see that price is above that level, but it did sell off today. So let me not think, oh, price is selling, but let me think of, okay, if price stays above this level, that means it still has bullish potential. Our next level of sellers are up here. So for me to think that price is just going to stop here and go all the way back down, It's very unlikely because we have the next level of sellers here. So now my mindset will be, okay, this is a correction. I need to then wait for the 1 hour time frame to provide me with bullish structure too. Okay, go to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, I can see that the 1 hour time frame is still bearish. I see a lower high. I see a lower low. It's rejecting a little bit. Let me now wait for price to go on the 1 hour back bullish. Also, if you want to be like, oh, side, but when do we sell? Because I know some people are probably going to ask me that question. Well, that question is already answered too as well. Lower high, a higher low break invalidates a buy trade. So if we're looking for buys, where is our higher low that we're pushing off of? This is our higher low. Price becomes bearish for gold when it breaks the higher low. So once it breaks this level, then we can start looking for sales because now, once again, it ties back up into everything. Under this level, price has selling pressure. Price then broke a higher low in an uptrend. So both of these things are telling us price is bearish. That's how you would know. But for the meantime, you should only be thinking, okay, I see the structure has made a higher high. I should be thinking correction. I should be now focusing on when is the 1 hour time frame going to go back bullish. Take your time. Don't rush it. Let structure build out for you. You should start seeing structure. Just because price goes up on the 5 minute time frame and you see blue candles doesn't mean that it's buying. Wait for structure to play out. Wait for a price to have some visible higher lows and higher highs, and you're going to be able to see these things when it happens. And yeah, and trade in volume. But yeah, sorry for the long rant. But I hope some of this helped. Wait, he said I'm breaking up. She said I'm breaking up. Yeah, so yeah, I personally think trading is very simple. If I explained it a little bit complex today, it's just really so I can just pour out the thoughts that I'm thinking. But essentially what you're looking for is price to show a reaction and repeat that action again. Like I explained in the LA event, I told them I was like, uh, you're just looking. Hold on one sec. I have somewhere to be in a couple minutes, guys. Sorry. Essentially, what you're doing with the markets is you're communicating with the markets. But you're more of like, and I hate to say this for the ladies in here, but you're more of like listening to the girl and just reacting that way. Because like prime example, um, the markets will tell you, hey, I want this, or I want this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. And you simply react to it. You're just reacting to it. It could be a good way or it could be a bad way, right? Um, Communication is very key. The markets is going to tell you what it wants to do, and it's your way to react and actually communicate back with it. Like, hey, the market said it wants to do this. So then you, as a trader, have to be like, okay, I understand that you want to do this. So let's see how we can make this happen, or let's see how this trade can happen in my favor, right? Market's going to be like, yo, I want to go on the uptrend. Your response should be, okay, I see that you want to go on the uptrend. What is the best way that I can, be a part of that uptrend with you, right? So that's essentially what trading is. I personally think that's what trading is. It's just the communication. So that's why even when it comes to losses, it doesn't affect me because I'm simply communicating with the market. Some days you can have a miscommunication. I have miscommunications with my mom. I have miscommunications with my personal assistants, my security guards, my chefs, or anybody, my friends, my family, right? But just because you have a miscommunication with somebody one day doesn't necessarily mean that you're done with that person. If you have a friend, right, and one day you guys just are not on the same page, are you just going to stop being that guy's or that guy or that girl's friend just because you miscommunicated one day? Same way with the markets. Just because you miscommunicated with the markets one day doesn't mean that you completely stop doing or stop trading, or doesn't mean that you completely just do the complete opposite, right? So once again, I personally think trading is very simple. Um, if you're just following along with whatever the market's providing you, stay off the lower time frames because it's just a headache. It's kind of like, yo, think about it this way. The higher time frames is like trading with some old guy that says the right things when it needs to be said. Like he only speaks when it needs to be spoken, and then the lower time frame is just a fucking D1 yapper. Like, have you ever been on like a date or at an event or even at the movies or something, and somebody just won't shut up? Like, yo, shut the fuck up. Sorry for my language, but bro, like, shut up. That's kind of the lower time frames. Every 5 seconds, every 1 minute, every 5 minutes is printing out a new candle, and you can't even process all the candles in time. It's like, yo, calm down. But when you're on the lower time, I mean, when you're on the higher time frames, it's like, dang, I got a fresh breath of air. Like I can breathe. Like I can make a decision. I can respond to whatever the markets is communicating with me. If the markets are communicating so fast where you can't even comprehend, it sounds like speaking in Spanish or something. It's super hard to actually understand that, right? So it's just like end of the day, man, keep it as simple as possible. Let the markets tell you what it wants to do and just I wish the best for everybody, man. Like I always wish the best for everybody, no matter where you come from, no matter what your background is, what your story is. I wish the best for everybody in this trading stuff because I wish I had somebody to give me these things when I was trading in the beginning, for sure. And I'm here now where I'm at now due to the fact that I've like blocked out all the noise that I could and just focused on battling me versus me at the end of the day. Cause like I struggled with it. Like most people, you struggle with the charts because you're either overthinking it, you have too much information, you feel like you don't have enough information. Some people feel like they can't trade because they feel like, oh, well, this strategy is too simple. I feel like I need more information. You start searching more information, and it's just like, just keep it simple and then you build off of it. But the simplicity will always beat the complex way of like people do things. People will go and make let's say this I don't even know how to explain it. Like people will always complex something or complicate something when it could have been done simple and it could have been done way more efficient. That's kind of why that's kind of how America is built on, man. America is built on convenience. Like literally, if you think of the United States, it's all built on convenience. Simple, step by step, 1, 2, 3 is done. Convenience. And if you're trading in the American markets, they're not overcomplicating it. Everything is Americans are simple creatures, man. Like Americans are simple creatures, bro. So you're trading gold, USD, and all these other things. You got to think about it. Like this shit not really complex. Everybody's simple. The people that you're going against are thinking very simple, to be honest. You're the only one overcomplicating it because you have some guy talking about some, yeah, bro, we need to hit the FVG on the 1 minute time frame on an order block, and yeah, we need a breaker block and some more shit. And it's just like, huh? Bro, what? Yeah, man, but once again, I wish the best for everybody. Um, I just remember changing my whole way of thinking into like, okay, like let me try to make this make sense first. Cause like even now, some people they like, and I don't hate on anybody's way of trading, but some people trade this complex way, and you feel like you know what you're talking about, but you don't even know what you're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. But there's nothing like, and I say that because when I say buyers and sellers, this is not something I've created. Like once again, I tell people all the time, ICC is only something where I was like, okay, if I was to explain this to somebody that doesn't know how to trade, how I explain it? ICC. That's what ICC is. But price action and market structure is basically what I'm teaching you, which is something that's been in the market since market time, since it first started. But all these new terms that we have nowadays, literally think about it. Ah, bro, we can talk about this all day. Like, bro, there's so much shit in America that you can debunk. There's so much stuff in the world that you can debunk. Like, think about it, right? all these new terms and new analogies, new terms and new vocabularies and stuff that people are making and saying like, oh, this is a strategy or this and that. Bro, nothing will ever come above buyers and sellers. Buyers in the market, sellers in the market. They're trading orders. There's going to either be more buyers in the market or there's either going to be more sellers in the market. You can't make that up. You're always going to see that. Like that's something you're just going to always see. It's either going to be buyers or is it going to be more sellers? More sellers or more buyers? Just simple, and you're just looking at what they're reacting to. Stop coming up with all these different terms and trying to make it so confusing. All you need to focus on is who's more in control? Is it buyers? Are they winning the tug of war, or is sellers winning? Find it. That's what you're finding. Who's in control? At what point do they become more in control than the other person? Literally, that's it. I'm telling you this now. I say this because I'm getting frustrated because, bro, some of you guys have been trading for so long, and you guys like it pains me to know that people have been trading for 5+ years and they still haven't made it like made sense. And I'm not trying to down anybody on their journey, but I definitely feel like the guidance out there wasn't correct. It wasn't correct guidance. Some of this stuff is like should have been correct guidance, but yeah, man. Can you show us what a 1 hour entry looks like? Pretty much looks the same as yeah, what this guy showed. A 1 hour entry is no different from a wait, when is this? What the hell? Oh, this was recently. Yeah. I'm in BTC, by the way. I'm in sales. Yeah, made an equal high, failing to continue higher. As you can see, that there is price reacting to the fact that it won't go any higher than this. This reaction is literally showing you that price doesn't want to go any higher than this level. So then you see this next level, which he marked, which is good, where price has made a support level. And the support level is essentially saying that there's buyers here trying to push up price. But once you get a break of that, this is now telling you that under this level, sellers have potential to go from here to here. This correction happens. Is that right now? No, the way. Wait, no way. I was gonna say, yeah, that correction happens. So the first breakdown, I'm gonna just go back. I can't do the blue candles. I tried to do it so you can see it a little bit more, but I can't. I just can't do the blue candles. It looks like blue. But yeah. So he had his markup here. Price doesn't want to go any higher than this here. And then we have a break. You can call this the indication. Price corrects back into this level, which is cool. But anything under this level would have been already bearish for you because you already have price showing you that price doesn't want to go any higher than this. And we've already had previous reactions at that same level that went all the way down to here. So all you're looking for is a repeat of something that has already happened. So that trade played out from this. So this same level that was broken and went down to here, you're looking for that to happen again. But this time it happened right here. So under this level, you could have took a sell and been comfortable, which is something I did. And for the people that look, I literally have a video of me talking about it before it happened. All right, so currently it is November 11th, Tuesday at 12:34 p.m. Yeah. As you can see, BTC currently looking at the 4 hour time frame. November 11th, I made this video of BTC before it fell because price had made two equal highs. That low has been broken, and this was a good selling point. There was a small correction, but as long as it didn't break above the highs, it was all good. But now it is currently at what? Rejecting at 98K, which is cool. But it's just all reaction. That's all I did. I seen that price sold from this level before, I seen that price was at that level again, but this time it made uh two equal highs. It made an equal high and broke this level of support. So that's bearish. If I'm looking for a bearish reaction, all I'm doing is trying to find something bearish to go along with what I'm thinking. That's essentially all you're doing is finding if you think under this level, price is going to have bearish movements, as we see here, here to here, bearish. All we're doing is looking for something to say, hey, that means price is bearish. So the fact that price made equal highs and broke a level of support, that is enough facts to go off of on a higher time frame to be like, okay, price is bearish now. It would have been different if price made a higher low. If price just made a higher low, like if it was like this and made a higher low, it would be different and trying to go up. That would be a different story, but it didn't. It broke a level of support, which then became bearish. So all you're doing is looking for reactions. Yeah, this is a good chart. Trade-a-thon next year, man. Honestly, um, when I told everybody I was taking a break, it didn't necessarily mean that I was taking a break from like trading and stuff. I just needed a break before social media, man. I already knew before I uploaded that video. Ah, I got this video to show you guys. Um, apparently, never mind. I'm gonna just explain it in the YouTube video. But no, I'm not going to a Forex summit. No, 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 no. We don't go to this. Forex summits are just for people to promote their courses. Uh, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I just needed a break from social media, man. Like for the past, what, 5 months, I've been trying to push out as much for everybody as much as possible, but that shit feels like a job sometimes. And once again, I love helping people, but I gotta have a balance in my life. Everything has to have a balance. Bro, that whole like hate trend that was going on every single platform. Matter of fact, I'm a literally hold on, hold on. I'm gonna play this. Hold on. Where is it? I'm gonna play this. Good. Hold on.
Good morning. Hope all is well, bro. Would love to see you in person. Um, Catch up on a lot. And you're welcome. You got 100,000 new eyeballs. You're welcome. Everything is strategic. Always remember that. Nothing is emotional. Everything is strategically done. So I'll be in another country soon. Would love to see you. Can keep it incognito one-on-one. Would love to catch you up on a lot of stuff. The future's bright for you, bro. It's bright for a lot of people. So keep pushing, bro. Keep being a good father. Keep being a good person. Your heart is pure at the bottom of it. Life's just getting started, my boy. So keep winning. And yeah, let's catch up soon, bro. Just let me know your schedule.
Hold on one sec.
Done strategic. I honor you and everything that you do. So even though I posted, bro, just know it's done strategically. And that's the online world. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, the more noise, the better, right? All marketing is good marketing. So yeah, let's catch up.
So, anyways, that just goes to show, once again, and I'm not gonna be because I hate drama. I just like living a calm life. But it was planned. It was planned for people to make all these like false accusations about me, this and stuff, just to kind of build their social media, just to build up the quote unquote eyes and stuff like that. Um, so the moment I came out with that reel, they took 24 hours. And if you've seen, it took 3 days for them to try to quote unquote slander my name for the past 3 days. So that way everybody would be looking at me, I think. That's what they was trying to explain. So yeah, I mean, I personally don't care. Um, social media, no social media. I've been the best I can be. I don't try to do anything to harm. I don't do anything to harm people. I don't sell you anything. I teach you as much as I know, whatever the case might be. But yeah, apparently this whole like hate that I got, or what other people would be like, oh, bro, you got exposed or this and that. For one, just because somebody says something doesn't necessarily means it's true. And I say that because a lot of people was like, oh, bro, I talked to the owner or this and that. First of all, that's a federal crime if an owner of a brokerage is providing you a details of someone else's financial gains. That's already against the law, so that's cap. And that you can literally go look at like anybody. If you go and ask like a bank and be like, oh, how much does Joseph have in his bank account? The bank is not gonna fucking tell you. Like what? The bank is not gonna tell you, bro. Are we dumb? Are we dumb? And then two, they also have like this picture of when I was homeless. I'm just gonna say everything. They have this picture when I was homeless and they tried to use it like whatever the case might be, and they started making like these fake DMs of like people saying, "Oh, I got scammed from this or that or this and that." First of all, bro, anybody can make a DM of texting themselves. So I was like, "All right, bro." My comment sections have been on every single platform for the past 2 years, a year, 2 years. And I have not yet seen one comment like this ever in my life until this day. My comment section on every single thing I had has been open to like a long ass time. And I've never seen these accusations before, bro. So I'm like confused. So I was like, okay, if they really got scammed, quote unquote, then how come they're just now saying something? If it's that big, if they just like, I don't know. Anyways, and two, let's clarify this. Any regulated platform can provide you with any amount of funds that is inside that brokerage, no matter what. As long as that platform is regulated, they have the funds. Now, can you pull out a large sum amount at one time? Can you pull out 100 million at one time? No, because what human being is liquidating all their ass or liquidating everything they need in one day, if that makes sense. You bro, social media is so funny, bro. Um yo, it's so funny because I just sat back and laughed. Me and my assistant it was just so funny, bro, to see the propaganda, basically what I kept calling it. It was just a bunch of propaganda. And then the moment we did the LA event, because I think everybody's plan was to do like the propaganda on me before the LA event because they knew I had the LA event and they thought it was going to be a bad turnout or something to happen to me at the turnout because I kept getting a lot of DMs of people saying like, oh, they're going to jump Psy at the event or oh, they're going to jump or they're going to beat him up. There's going to be a shootout, some just a bunch of shit. And yeah, bro, I'm just like, what, bro? But yeah, man, I just want to see y'all win, bro. But yeah, that recording was yesterday, and apparently all this was scripted for everybody to look at trades by Sci. It was all scripted, apparently, or strategically done. That's what he said, strategically done. That's what he said. Not my words. You heard him. Strategically done. That's what he said. Strategically done. Everything on social media is strategic. Um, yeah, that's what he said. So, anyways, love you guys. It was good to spread some wisdom, some knowledge for you guys. But yeah, I'm not necessarily taking a break from trading. I just had to get off of social media. I still needed a little time away. I think like I still enjoy my life while I'm on social media, but I just think now is the perfect time for me to just step back for a little bit, at least for the time being, y'all. I definitely wanted to do the stream. but it just was no way I was going to be able to focus 100%. So definitely not going to make a promise, but I'm going to start next year, fresh. We'll just start from there. Um, but this year, November or what, in a couple days, I'll be going around Atlanta, not around Atlanta, but we have a charity event in Atlanta to do. I have a charity event in Atlanta to do for the next 3 days. It's going to be like a 3-day charity. And then from there, December, I'm a I'm gonna be in Canada, Switzerland, and also Miami as well, and just enjoy my time there and those places because you know I like to travel, but enjoy my time, kick back 2026. Boy, I want to tell you guys something, but bro, I just can't have y'all like, bro, we got to keep it like a low-key inside secret, bro. Y'all got to keep it like an inside secret, bro. So right now, for the past couple of days, I told Ramel, bro, I wasn't gonna tell anybody, but fuck it. Um, for the past couple of days, I've been producing my. He said no, no. Okay, okay. Never mind. 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 Ah, my fault. My fault, man, bro. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. Ah. Yo, no music. No. Yeah, I just gotta let y'all see it. Okay, 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 okay. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. Keep my mouth shut. Okay, my fault. Y'all just gonna have to see it, bro. I definitely think because I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off for real, for real. This is bigger than trading, bro. Like all this is bigger than trading. And I'm gonna take that to the grave with me. I feel like it was a calling, not even necessarily a calling for me, but now I've definitely seen that I'm in a position to make this bigger than what it is. Um, and this doesn't have to be dealing with money wise. It just comes with the community because the community that we have in ICC, the community that we have is unmatched, bro. This shit is unmatched. And I thank everybody every day from growing it because I always wanted people to get along in some type of aspect and come together. But I will say this, the goal of ICC is not just like trading and oh, this is indication correction. But when we talk about ICC and when we speak about ICC, it's more of like the meaning behind it. This was all created because I was like, people shouldn't have to be charged for something that could make anybody money. Why would you charge somebody $5,000 for a course when all you're teaching them is to know if the markets is gonna, all you're really teaching somebody is if it's gonna be a trend or is it not trending? Is it trending or trending? I mean, trending or not trending? That's all you're doing. Why are you charging somebody $5,000 from it when you yourself, the person charging them, can just press buy or sell and make that $5,000? We're like, don't get me wrong. There's some aspects or some things in life that you do have to pay for, respectfully, right? But when you're in the trading field, something where you can wake up, press buy, and make $10,000, why the fuck would you charge somebody that when you can just make what you? I just feel like it's all a scam. But besides the point, ICC was created because I felt like people here, it's more of like giving somebody giving somebody an axe or giving somebody a knife, right? You can give that knife to somebody, but it's up to them what they're going to do with it. They can either do good or they can do bad. Let's say an axe, for example. You can give somebody a wooden axe or a steel axe, an iron axe. You give that to them, they can either go chop down trees and build homes, or they can go murder animals with it, right? It's up to them. So at the end of the day, I do this because it's like I would provide you with what you need, and you do it whatever you do with it. Whatever I provide you, whatever information, education I provide you, you do whatever. You might use it, you might not use it. Okay, right? Um, so yeah, you already got to spend, think about it. You already got to spend thousands of dollars to put into your account $1,000, $500, $2,000, $3,000 just to just to put into your trading account, which is most, and then the odds are so like the odds are not in your favor at all. So let me get this straight. You expect me, a beginner trader, come into the game, no knowledge, no nothing. I see this dude, oh bro, he has a cool car. Oh bro, I love that he eats steak out of a suitcase in Miami. He lives in Miami at a penthouse that probably costs $3,000 a month, or not even a penthouse, it's a fucking apartment. And yes, I'm hating now. Anyways, I love his life so much. I want to be just like that. And then he hits you with the, yeah, bro, you want to be in a Miami penthouse, or you want to be in a Miami high rise and drive a Corvette or drive this McLaren. It's going to cost $5,000 to do this, right? Now, put it in perspective, right? I'm hating so bad because it doesn't make any sense. So then you buy this, no knowledge, by the way. You're a beginner trader, no knowledge. You're like, damn, he do got a point. Like, damn, he got a McLaren. He must have motion. He must got motion, bro. So then you're like, damn, like maybe I should buy this course. So then you buy into it and you're already a trader. So you don't even know the red flags that you need to, like, you don't even know the red flags of what you need to know and what you don't need to know, right? Anyways, so then you get into this and you're like, I don't even know the basics. I don't even know what I need to be looking for. People go into trading and don't know anything and they just buy something because they feel like, or there's always that excuse like, bro, if I buy it, it's gonna make me want to work more. No. Oh, bro, I'm gonna stop cussing, but that shit sounds stupid too. I said I was gonna stop, but that sounds stupid too. People are like, bro, if I buy into something, it's gonna make me want to work harder. No, your fucking goal should make you want to work harder. The fact that you have no money should make you want to work harder. The fact that you need to get your parents into retirement should make you want to work harder. Not because you paid $5,000 for something. Oh, I paid 5,000. That's like literally the worst mindset to have. There's people that buy shit and they never use it. Like you can buy something and be like, damn, I paid $400 for this. And you will use it probably once or twice and then forget about it. So I don't want to hear, oh, I paid because I felt like if I paid it, I would take it more seriously. No, bro, that's retarded. If you really want to trade, if you really want your goals to be achieved, bro, you need to actually have a goal for yourself and be like, that is what you're chasing. This is the end goal. That shit is so dumb when you say, oh, bro, I'm gonna get into it and put my money into it just because, or I'm gonna put more money into it because I think I'm gonna be more serious. It's the same way with prop firms, bro. This is a constant psychology cycle. People feel like the more they put money towards something, the more they're gonna get out of it just because they put more money towards it. Same way with prop firms. They like, oh, if I buy this 100K account, I feel like I'm gonna be a better trader. Bro, what? Anyways, back to the whole point. Sorry for the rant. Um, ICC is built off providing people with some type of knowledge, some type of education, so that way they can go and hunt for themselves and fish for themselves. Um, I used to do the whole signal thing, my first 2 years of teaching, but I understood that people were never really learning. I was one of those people that thought like, oh yeah, if you call out a trade, you can kind of learn from it. I thought that would help people, but honestly, it doesn't really. Like me calling out a trade only it can make you some money, of course, but then you don't really understand the thought process. So then I started switching over into teaching more of the thought process behind. Stop talking about other traders, bro. It doesn't even fucking matter. We're not worried about that. Um, we're not talking about other traders in here. Um, anyways, the thought process behind trading, the mindset that you have towards trading, the psychology is going to go way longer and last way longer than a trade called out. 2 months ago, right? You're not going to remember that. But something you will never forget will always be the mindset that you have, the way that you look at the charts. So, end of the day, whenever you think about ICC, don't think of just like, oh, this is just a trade strategy or trading strategy. Think of it as like an actual movement because once again, this is bigger than trading, right? This is all bigger than trading at the end of the day because imagine providing this value, providing this, and hopefully you guys inside of this community um, essentially make it to where you want to be. I've already paved the path for you to make it as simple as possible so that way you can get closer to your goals. Not saying you're going to become a millionaire or fucking, 6, 7 figure, 8 figure. I believe anybody could, but that just depends on the level that you want to take it. But I'm willing to provide you with value so that way you can get to the point that you want. And when you do get to that point that you want to be at, then you can provide that wisdom and that knowledge to somebody else. And then when you provide them with that, then they can do whatever they want to do. And it's just a cycle, bro. Bro, this is all a cycle. This is how it needs to go. We as traders, we in this call right now, 700, imagine if 700 is 700, let's say 770 people in here, right? 770 people in here. If every person in here just chased their dream or chased their goals, got to their goals, right? Let's literally do the math, right? 700 people. Let's say you only need to change 5 people's lives, bro. There's 750 people in here. You change 5 lives. That's 3,750 lives. Potentially they could change. And out of those 3,750 people, 3,750 people, they go change 5 lives. And that's over 18,000 lives. And then if those people go save 5 people, you just need to change five. That's already 100,000 people, lives change. And then, the crazy part, bro? It might seem small, but I just know one day, bro, even if it takes fucking 20 years, I do know one day that it doesn't even have to be trading, right? It doesn't even have to be trading. But if you provide somebody wisdom in some aspect where they can use that and change their life in some type of way, bro, it could essentially change a lot of shit. Crime rates, fucking bankruptcies, poverties. It could help people retire. Yeah, help your parents. Yeah, it could do anything. We can't keep this wisdom for ourselves. I feel like a lot of things in this world is gate kept because they're dangling a piece of paper across your head saying, "Hey, if you want a better life, you got to have a lot of this. If you want a better life, you got to have this piece of paper. You got to have this dollar." But imagine if we just all helped bro, think about it, bro. Literally think about it. If every human being had hope, or not hope, if every human being had the wisdom to live a decent life, a good life, bro, honestly, we would all be happy. Now, there will be some people that will be jealous and envy and greedy. There are people that are greedy. They want more than what they have. There are people that are envy of what this person has more, or whatever the case might be. There will be people like that in the world, but that is why we do this because trading, you can scale. These are things you can scale from. Help people scale. That's the whole goal of this, providing them with information that they can then use to scale their life. So, yeah, gotta go. Talk to you guys, man. It was good chatting with you guys.